Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I started this channel to work on my Volkswagen Cabrio here and to tinker around with other things like lawnmowers and that kind of stuff. But the main focus is going to be on this Cabrio here. It's a 92 Cabrio that I picked up from a family member. I've had it for about 10 years and I've parked it. Wanted to do a VR6 swap on it. Lost interest in doing that, and now I'm going to put a stock motor back into it, but I got a plan for it. And so yeah, let's take a look at the car. I know you're probably thinking, why would you not do a VR6 swap and go with a stock motor? Lots of reasons. One, money. Two, everybody does it. I have the motor here, the Eurowise swap kit, the axles, everything. But since I parked it, I stopped at the wiring harness. I was going to buy the the Eurowise harness and everything, but those harnesses have since skyrocketed in price. They used to be like $300. Now they're close to $1,000 for a harness. So that's kind of where I stopped. And there's a lot of other things, like you need new radiator, new coolant, brakes, suspension, I mean, everything. With this, putting a stock motor back into it, parts are a lot cheaper, and it's just going to be a cool car for me and the wife to just cruise around in. I'm not looking for speed or anything like that. But yeah, let's take a look at the car. It's a really, really, really clean car. There is essentially zero rust. The undercarriage of this thing is immaculate. The floor pans, I mean, there is not a speck of rust under this car. There's a few things that I need to do. My initial plan was to make the engine bay like spotless. I mean, like, shaved bay, wire tuck, all that stuff. I'm still going to do that. But I wanted to leave the exterior kind of, not ratty, but, as it was, without any bodywork or anything. But then this, I totally forgot about this. This needs to get fixed, and unfortunately, it's bad. I could, if I pushed hard enough, I could put my finger right through that. So, plans have kind of changed. I may still do that and just kind of, paint this white, to kind of match the other paint, but I'm not a body guy. I'm not a painter. That would probably end up being horrendous. So I may just, whoops, I may just repaint the car. But yeah, so what I've done so far is I pulled the VR6 out because I'm going to go back to a stock motor. Pulled the dash out, pulled all the wiring out. I pulled the dash out, pulled all the unnecessary wiring, like these speaker wires down here that somebody put in, and a whole bunch of other just junk that was in there. I need to pull the dash out so that when I go to weld this piece back in, I don't burn through my dash, because the dash is actually surprisingly really clean also. It needs a little bit of work, but there's no cracks or anything. There's a little bit of stuff here, but I'm not too worried about that. I may reskin it, I don't know. But the dash itself is really, really, really solid. No major cracks or anything. So yeah, that's why I pulled the dash out. I didn't want to ruin it. If it was a junk dash, I would just leave it in there, but I had to pull it out, try and save it. But yeah, my next thing here is I'm gonna get all this stuff out of here. Get the old engine wiring harness out of here. Because what I ended up doing is actually trading that VR6 and another VR6 motor and transmission for pretty much an entire front clip of this car. He basically cut the car like right here, and it's just the whole front of the car. So hopefully I'll have a few extra spare parts, because when I was pulling the VR6 out, I totally forgot how much of a pain in the butt it was to put it in, and I broke this off here, which isn't the end of the world, but I was kind of bummed because this car had really good brakes when I parked it. But that's nothing I can't fix with some parts and stuff. So but yeah, what I'm going to start doing is labeling all these wires, get them all pulled out, and yeah, just start ripping all this stuff out so I can start cleaning this thing and getting it ready for the new motor. I am going to delete the air conditioning out of this. One, it's convertible. Why do you need air conditioning? Probably going to regret it. Probably going to take it out, and then one summer day when it's pouring outside and it's also extremely hot out, I'm going to be like, dang it, should have left the AC in. But I'm going to try and not run this thing in the rain, too much, because the top is questionable. Probably needs to be replaced, but not going to do that anytime soon. I just want a fun car that me and the wife can jump in with the kids and just, cruise around and take a nice drive, down to the beach or, just around town. So it's not going to be a show car of any means, but I do want to do a nice job on it and, clean this engine bay up, get it nice and neat and clean. And just have a really fun car. So yeah, I'm going to get started here, get all these wires out of here, and start working on. All right, so I got some of the wiring out. I took out the engine wiring and the ECU or ECM, whichever one it is. Next, I'm going to pull all these out. And if you haven't done this before, what I do is I just label both sides of the wire with a number. That way when you go back and plug everything in, it'll just be 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, and you just plug everything back in. I also got the harness out for the lights. Next thing I'm going to do, actually, because I have ADHD and can't stay on one task, is I'm going to vacuum out the interior here. Get all this garbage out of here so it's just a nicer place to work. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right. Got all that vacuumed out for the most part. Still some spots I couldn't really get to. So yeah, the next thing is I'm going to start pulling out these harnesses through the firewall, which we can see it's just going to be a task. But it's got to be done so I can do the engine stuff. Kind of semi-shave it and do a wire tuck and all that stuff, but I need those out of the way, and I want to get those AC lines out of there. And then I got to figure out what I'm going to do for heat. I want at least to have heat in here just for defrost, in case it's raining or whatever and the windows start fogging up. I definitely want to have a heater in here for at least that. Air conditioning I really don't care about. So yeah, but the problem is on these Cabrios and Mark 1s with air conditioning is they're all ran off vacuum. So I'm gonna have to see if I can find a heater box, that doesn't run off vacuum. So yeah, so that's where we're at. So I'm gonna try and get these pulled through. All right. Got a little sidetracked from pulling the wire out, but pulled the windshield out, and man, this is pretty bad. Which is pretty typical on these, but just a bummer. Nothing I can't fix, it's just I'd rather not, you know what I mean? But I'll get all this vacuumed out. And then we'll put a new piece in eventually. Not right now, eventually. Because I'll have to cut. I don't know if I'm going to cut it here, or I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. But that means this is going to have to come off. And then I'll have to glue that back into place. But it's a project, that's for sure. All right, well, that's where I'm going to stop. I got it all vacuumed out. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But again, like I said, nothing I can't fix. Big hole there. Just have to get a piece, see if they sell this piece, get that replaced. But yeah, that's where I'll leave it for now on this video. Just kind of an introduction and what I've been doing to it. But yeah, if you like this video and want to see more of this project, leave a like, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, and join me on this journey with this Cabrio. All right, we'll see you.